Welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. Hello crafters, today I want to share with you two items that I picked up in Lidl's. So first of all, I'd like to share with you the Sweet patterned paper set. And Crelando is, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, it is the arts and crafts that you'll get inside in Lidl's. Now I got this, I think it was last week, and this has got 20 sheets in it. It's got 2 of each and they're double-sided. So let's have a look inside. So first of all, we have this beautiful balloons, and you can see there is an embossed glittery finish to some of these balloons, and you'll see on the back side of it, because they're double-sided, we have more balloons, but there's no glitter on this side. So we got 2 sheets of the balloon, you can see there, and then we get 2 sheets of this lovely, it's kind of an aqua green, and it's got this white wave on it, and you can see there every other one has got the raised or embossed glitter. And like I said, there's 2 sheets of that. Then we have these lovely flamingos, and the colors are lovely and soft. Now there are some of these flamingos are embossed and with the glitter, but some of them are just plain. And then we have some of the leaves are embossed with glitter, and some of the leaves are plain. And again, then you have the other side, which has no embossing or glittering on, but we have it on the second page. We also have this beautiful stripe, the pink. I'm sure there's a name for this kind of line, but the pink ones are just plain. It's the coloured ones that have all got this embossed glitter, and then the back sheet doesn't. And we have a second one. Then we have these lovely circles or bubbles, whatever you want to call them. Again, some of them are glittery and embossed. We have the love hearts. And then we have the sweet treats and the ice creams. And again, with some of them have that embossing, some of the stars have it, and the dots have it as well. And then we have the cupcakes. I love the cupcakes. I think they're so cool. And then after the cupcakes, we have these, the hearts and crowns and circles. And then we have cutter parts. And we have 2 sheets of the cutter parts. And again, one side has got the embossed glitter, and it doesn't come off. This glitter it's a non-shed glitter on these. So you can see there's a bit of glitter here and on the cute and the banners. And then on the other side, there's no glitter. So they're double-sided cut parts. And like I said, we get 2 sheets of those. And then that's it. So that's the paper pack. I picked up a couple of these when I was in Lidl's. And they also do the Crelando coloured cardstock. Now they do 270 GSM, and they do a lighter one. I think it was 230, could have been 210. Anyway, I love the 270 because the 270 is stiff enough that they'll make a card base, or you can just use them as mats and layers. Now you can see here that the cardstock is actually bigger than our patterned paper pack. And I don't know if there is. Well, this is an A4, so this one is bigger. Yeah, it's 24 by 34 centimeters is what the this one is. So 24 is just over 9, a little under 9.5 by 13.25. So a little under 9.5 by 13.25. So this is bigger than a 12. But I love to get the 12 by 12 sheets because you can cut this and make it a 6 by 6 card. So with the 12 by 12 sheet, you'll get 2 6 by 6 card blanks, but with this one, you'll get 1 6 by 6 card blank. But still, I think 24 by 34 centimeters or 9.5 by 13.25 roughly. I think that's a great size, and they weren't expensive, guys. So I picked up 8 of these. I had 2 in my stash, and what I do is I take all the pages out from the couple that I get. So under my desk I have 8 sheets of the yellow, 8 sheets of the mustard, 8 sheets of the orange, etc, etc, etc. It just means I have a couple of sheets of every colour, and you can see there are great colours, and I don't think my camera on my phone is doing justice to the density or the intensity of the colours in the paper pad. They're absolutely beautiful. I love this pink and the fuchsia pink. You've got a real, oh, there's Buster. Buster's come in to say hello. We have a real red colour, a Christmas red, a beautiful lavender, purple, a sky blue, a darker sky blue, a darker sky blue. So I mean, there's 4 different shades of blue in this, which is just, you know, that's fab for an underwater scene or a sky scene. They're fantastic. Then we have a couple of shades of the green. Again, 3, 4 shades of the green. This is kind of a greeny blue or a bluey green, whichever you want to call it. Then we have a white, we have a light cream, we have a darker cream, we have a light, very light brown, it's nearly buttermilk colour. We have a brown, and we have a black, and then for a finish we have a grey, and then that's the back. And with the cardboards at the back, they're not as strong as some chipboards, but I actually take these off. I cut them off from the back there, and I keep these because they're very handy for doing some crafty things, making crafty boxes and stuff like that. So really, really good. So I wanted to share these two with you, and we're going to make a card, and we're going to make an inside panel card using these 2 products. So let's go ahead and do that next. So before we have a look at what we're going to use to make our card, I'm going to show you some of the products that I'm going to use on the card. So I have a happy birthday die here. This is just one I got from Aliexpress about 2 years ago when I started crafting. I purchased some items from Aliexpress, and this just happened to be one of the dies that I used, but you can use any die that you have, or stamps. I'm just showing you what I used for this card. So these dies, this die that I used is by Surprise Creation. I don't know if it's still available. If I can find any links to the products I used, I will leave them in the description down below. Okay, so next we have the Woodware Craft Collection, and this one I'm using the Birthday Wishes. So I'm going to use that on the card. I also have these stamps come from Paper Craft Society card kit box. And every month we get stamps and dies and other products within the box. I also do videos for that, so you can see them on my channel. But I'm going to use some of the stamps from these 2. I'm going to use the It's Your Birthday Just to Say, may today bring health and happiness to you and those you love. I'm also going to use a stamp from Christina Griffiths. This is the Happy Birthday to You. It's the Christina Collection and it's by Card Making Magic. So there are some of the products I'm going to use to embellish the card we're going to make. So we'll leave those over there. Now I have my list of all my measurements, so I will pop that over here and we will go through everything. So the first thing you're going to need for this card is a 5x7 card blank. And if you're making the card blank or card base yourself, you'll need a card measuring 10 by 7 and scored at 5. And that way then when you fold it over in half, you have a 5x7 card base. We're also going to need 2 pieces of pink cardstock, and this is the light pink cardstock from the Crelando card pack. So these two measure 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I've also got 2 patterned papers, and these are both have the glitter on. And these measure as well 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I have one of the patterned paper with the glitter on the front. This piece measures 6.5 by 4.5. And I have a white piece of cardstock, and this piece measures 4.5 by 6.5. I also have a strip of the pink cardstock, and this piece measures 2.5 by 12, 4.5, 3 1/4, 6, 8 3/4, and 11.5. Then I have here 4 of the cut aparts, and each of these I'm going to use the side that has the glitters on. These I have cut out of the paper pad, but I have cut these down to 2 5/8. Now I know that seems like a random number, but they're going to fit in here. I'm going to put 1 on each of these here like so. And then this panel, when it's inside our card, it will pop up. So that's how they'll sit like that. And these little tabs at either end are going to be attached to the inside of our card. So when you open our card up, these will pop out. I've also got a couple of the flamingos cut off. Now from the scrap paper that I cut out these 2 panels that are here, I fussy cut out some of these birds. Now you can see here, this one has only one side, and then this one is missing the back end. So these 2 will go either edge of our card. Then I have 2 full flamingos that I have here. This little flamingo, he has got no legs because he was at the bottom end of the pattern paper that I cut off. But this is going to go on the back where we're going to write our message or our sentiment. And I've also fussy cut out these 2 little glittery leaves. So I plan to have those like that with the little flamingo. So she looks like she's nesting there. And then finally, I have my happy birthday. This is my die cut out happy birthday that I'm going to put on the front. So there are all our bits and pieces for our card. Let's go ahead and assemble everything now. So I'm starting with my stamp positioner here, and I'm going to stamp a sentiment on each of the panels. I have my stamps laid out of them, so I'll be able to do it in order. Now I'm stamping It's Your Birthday using the VersaFine Onyx Black ink onto this card, but I'm not going to end up using it this way. I'm going to turn around and leave it blank, because I thought what you could do is actually write the person's name here. So you could put their Caitlin or James or Sarah or whatever name it is, and you could actually write that in that part. So although I stamped the It's Your Birthday on the side with the glitter and everything on it, I don't think it's really that noticeable. With the rest of them, I'm going to stamp the sentiments out of the stamp sets. I've done Just to Say. Here I'm stamping the Happy Birthday to You, and then I'm going to stamp the enjoy the beautiful moments. And again, although I kind of had them in the orientation there earlier, I might change it up a bit and move them around, but we'll get to that later when we're assembling. So that's it, that's the last stamping done. And I like to use a stamp positioner, especially on something like that, because if you stamp down once and it doesn't do a good job, it's very hard to, I find it very hard to line them up. So that's why I like to use a Misty or a travel platform. And again, with this birthday stamp, it's a large one, so I wanted to make sure that I'd be able to double stamp if I needed, and I did need, although it's a really great stamp, it needed the second one. Okay, so now we're assembling our card, and I'm going to use Collal Glue. I find this, it's a solvent glue. I don't find a strong smell off it, and I find with this glue it doesn't warp your card, especially when you're doing mats and layers. Some glues, and I found it with the Cosmic Shimmer glue and the Art Glitter glue, sometimes the card can actually warp a little bit, and I hate when that happens when I've taken the time to make a card. Okay, so we have our panel, our strip here. Now you could actually, you see these little 1/2-inch tabs? I want to wrap them around my patterned paper, and I'm going to do it on both sides so that when it's down, you won't see the tab. Now you don't have to do it, you can stick those tabs down at the front, but I'm wrapping them behind it. So I'm going to stick them down onto my pattern paper first, and I have the faces of the side of the pattern paper that I want showing up. I have them faced together, so I make sure that the side that doesn't have any of the glitter embossing, I make sure I'm sticking it down to that. And I line up those two pages really well before I then stick down that other little tab. Once I'm happy with that, then I'll fold it over, and then I can add my glue to the whole back of that and stick it down. So our little tab is hidden. Now, if you want, you could have the first panel with Life is Sweet, and then our last panel that will stick down. You could actually not have those tabs, and you could stick the panels down onto the pattern paper itself. So only the inside two areas will pop up. So it's up to yourself how you want to do it. I just thought it would be different having the 4 panels, you know, moving rather than the first panel and the last panel stuck down onto the pattern paper inside. And I hope I've made that clear for you, but I just like to give you options. Okay, so I'm taking my Happy Birthday and I'm using my my Cosmic Shimmer glue on this, and again it's a little bit snotty, so I was sticking a pin in it repeatedly to get it to move. God, I wish people could come up with a really good glue that will work in any environment. But anyway, that's down, and now I'm going to stick down my lovely flamingos. And I know the Happy Birthday there on the green paper with the white kind of waves on it. It looks a little bit busy here on the monitor looking at it as I'm doing the voiceover, but I have to say in real life, with the card here in front of me, the Happy Birthday, it stands out really well. So I'm really happy with that. Okay, so we have our flock of flamingos. You can see there how the 4 panels all will lift from the inside of the card. And here I am juggling all the different panels, what way I want to put them on. So I recommend you put your glue on your little square areas here on both of them. And you can see there, look, I'm turning down the Happy Birthday, I'm putting it up the other way around. And then I was going to stick down the second one, and I don't know why I decided to do the other end for some reason. But I mean, you can put them in any order you like. Just make sure that when you're putting them down, they're all at the same height. So I've got the last one in, then I'm doing the second one. Stick that one down, and then I'll put in the third one. Lovely. And I like the layout of these. I like the flow, you know. So if you had the person's name just to say, then enjoy the beautiful moments and your happy birthday. And you can see there the way all 4 panels lift away from the inside. But like I said, you could actually stick down the panel that has the Life is Sweet and the panel that has the Happy Birthday if you wanted to just have, you know, the other 2 pop up. So now I'm sticking down my sentiment panels and I'm putting down my little flamingo. I have it down a little bit too low, but I'm going to scoot it up and then put our lovely little glittery leaves underneath it. So you won't see she's got no legs. She just looks like she's nesting. I thought that was clever. Rather than cutting into some more of the pattern paper, I was using up the scraps. And again, we're going to use our Collal Glue on the back of this. Pop that down on the back of our card. So we have a nice big area to write our message. And there we go, there's our card. That's how it looks on the inside. You can write the person's name there. You can see how the panels sit forward, or you could glue those 2 panels back. It's up to yourself. But I think it's lovely. We've got lots of room on the back to write our message. And yeah, I think these paper pads from Lidl are really great. I think they're a nice quality card and paper to work with, and I definitely will be keeping an eye out for them in the future in Lidl's. I do love keeping an eye on their craft section. So that's the front of our card. This is the inside of our card. And you can see how those panels sit nicely there. And then it all gets hidden when we close the card over and we can write our message in the back. So there you go, there's our 5x7 Happy Birthday inside panel card. I hope you liked my video, and if you did, you might click on the thumbs up and give my video a like. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing, and if not, you might consider clicking on the bell icon. That way you'll be notified the next time I post a new video. Until next time, thanks for watching and bye for now.